to say, I think something that's been really, really hard for me is having to sit in the realm of education, sitting in, like the public school system, and just watching black children destroy themselves, not only at the hands of themselves but at the hands of their parents. I think that is probably one of the most disheartening things to experience as a young black woman myself, and it honestly is like propelling me to leave. Like, I just genuinely feel like I cannot be a witness to this. Like, I cannot be a witness to the demise of the next generation and of our future, because there's just a lack thereof.
So that was a clip of a young lady describing her situation in the school system, right?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on this one? So basically, let me add a little more context. Well, she's basically describing she wants to leave the school system because she see where like parents and like the lack of education in the school system, for a lack of or better words, is kind of on a bad side, and she can't help. She feel helpless or hopeless. She wants to help, but it's like, I've seen that too. But yeah, it's like you want to help a group of people, but you can't help them, so you feel hopeless, so you don't want to be in that position.
Let me take that. That it hurts me to my soul, because unfortunately I lived through that as well. I went to Martin Luther King Elementary School in Hartford. I ended up, going to Fox, going to Weaver, left and went to Howard University, and came back. And one of the jobs that I had, I was a truancy case manager at elementary school at Martin Luther King. So it was nice to come back to my alma mater, but to see the way it was after all them years, it was heartbreaking, because you have a lot of kids who go to school and they don't understand the topic. So what do? They act out. They distract other people. They looking to get kicked out of class. And it's just like, yo, I know why you're doing this, but like, you got to stop yourself from being your own worst enemy. Or you would have the kids where the parents would come to school and they wouldn't give a damn. It's just like, this is babysitting for 6 hours. Yeah. You can't deal with them. Like, I got to deal with them when they come home. You can't deal with them. And so from where I sit, it's like, I understand where the girl's coming from, where you don't want to be a witness to it. You don't want to be a part of it. But at the same time, in walking away, you are one of the people that can help turn a kid's life around. Even if it's just one person encouraging that kid to say, hey, you may not understand what the prison, the school to prison pipeline is, but I'm telling you that this is how you're heading out if you keep going. You might be able to change it. But the thing is, even if you don't, you still got to try. I had to go through that for over a year, dealing with truant kids for whatever reason. And it's rough. 100% is rough, because you know that this is the future, that this kid who ain't in class, acting out, getting suspended, that this could be the next kid that's in jail. This could be the next kid that's dead. But if you don't do your part and try, you're making sure that happens. So it's just rough on all people involved, but you got to try 100%.
I like that. That's a good response. You want to go, Drake, or I could go?
Go ahead. I'll go after you.
All right, cool. So I could second that. Sorry. One of the things that, as an educator, that you would notice is you got to meet the kid. And one of the things I was fortunate to have was the ability to construct my classes or conduct my classes however I wanted, because I ran the program. So I could try stuff. I had the ability to try stuff. Not a lot of teachers have that ability to try things. So when it fails, it's all on you. You know what I'm saying? So if they try and it don't work, it's back to the drawing board and it's on you. So in her position, one lesson that I actually did a speech in Toastmaster for is redesigning how people see or whatever you're teaching, So one of the instances where I had a class where I was new to these like 20 students and I couldn't reach them, you know what I'm saying? I was young, I was different, and I had to get through to them. And one of the things I had to do was I had to find something that they like or they resonated with, figure that out. Once I figured it out, make that the center or the focus point, then build my work on top of that. And that's how I kind of broke through to them. You know what I'm saying? So you got to kind of find something that resonates with them, then get there, build that little bond. But it's hard though. It's hard. Teaching ain't easy. It ain't for the weary, man. It's not.
I as you were saying, I was just thinking, how do you manage that and then you still have a curriculum that you have to keep up with and the schedule that they want certain things done. I pray, and when I pray every night, I pray for educators as well, because parenting we have to look at our parents, and I'm saying us as a community,
Mm-hmm.
not individually. You just gotta look at the parents in this. That went kind of downhill throughout the years. Starting in the '70s, where our parents are wild. You know what I'm saying, running loose, and then in the '90s, us running wild and loose. And now in the 2000s is way more weird than what we just see it going downhill, going downhill with the parent and students. And then they just send their kids off to the school for the teachers to if they can't be maintained at home, more than likely they're not going to be maintained at school. But you have some of those educators who it's their calling to educate,
Yeah.
their passion to educate, and those special people find ways, like you said, like you do, to get through to these kids, or some of these kids, at least one or two. You're good. I don't believe in luck, but you're lucky if you can get to one and two and thrust them in the direction that they use, because you see their potential. And every kid is bright in their own way. And what I've come to learn is every kid doesn't learn the same.
Nah.
So you can't just have a curriculum and think everybody's gonna, the curriculum is teach this, write this down, whatever, give them their test. And every kid doesn't, like me. I learn math by you give me the answer, I go back and see how you got the answer, go back and pick the answer apart. Whereas you doing it on the board and in order and the way they wanted me to learn it, I didn't learn it that way. I'll go back in the back of the book and get the answer. They get in the back of the textbook. They had the answers from the odd ones
Yeah.
and the even ones sometimes. So I
Mm-hmm.
go back in the textbook and I look for it. I look for one of the answers and I'll be like, all right, well, how do they get this from these components or whatever is there? But I was not in special ed, but my mom always made sure that I had one of those classes where it was like a study hall, but it was a person there that I got one-on-one.
Okay.
Because there was classes that I really didn't. If I didn't click with the teacher, I didn't. I went in the class, I put my head down, I didn't bother nobody. She didn't kick me out. She just let me, but she knew the person that I would go to for help, because me and her didn't click, or me and him didn't click, or whatever. But there was only one teacher like I did like that. But the rest of them, I took a liking to or respect for, and every kid doesn't learn the same. And all my kids are 5 different personalities, or 9 different personalities if you include my stepkids. Everybody got a different me. Not everybody understands that, but somebody may look at it as like, you treat this person better
Yeah.
or whatever. I don't have to discipline that one as much as I have to discipline this one. So I don't have to be as stern with this one as I have to be this one.
Yeah.
This one is going to challenge me, so I have to be more stern. And some people may have looked at it in a different light, as I favored this one or that one, but that wasn't the case. I knew that, okay, I can ask this one to do the dishes one time, and it's going to get, this one is going to challenge me. If I do the dishes, say do the dishes and go in the room, it ain't going to get done. So I pray for educators every day, man. Because they have a hard task, man. And some see the evil, some see the enemy's work in the curriculum, and maybe that's the challenge within itself.
Yeah.
With the agendas that they're pushing out today, and that's like, okay, I can't be a part of this, because it's your job to push what they're telling you to push, and you're like, man, this is not what I want to do.
Yeah.
That's another perspective. So it's tough. It's tough, man.
Yeah, it is.
That's tough. That's tough. I try to, when I do teaching, I try to stick with the teenagers, because I know everybody's different, and I try to, just like you, I try to find where they are, meet them where they are, and then go from there.
Yeah.
But it may take a little longer. but I don't have a curriculum, but the word.
Yeah, that's the curriculum. That is the curriculum. That is.
So, but I feel safe teaching that curriculum. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel good about that. You know what I'm saying? That's not something I have to second guess.
Yep.
So yeah, that's just me. That's my opinion.
Look,
All
what
right.
I'll say to that before we move to the next thing, everybody that's listening, in regards to this whole topic, listen to the song Second Childhood by Nas. It really speaks to this whole thing. I actually broke it down with one of them kids I was working with.
Second childhood. Yeah.
Second
For
childhood.
sure.
There's a verse about a dude, 31, living in his mom's crib, ex-convict, was paroled day after his mom's bid. The whole thing speaks to the situation because he definitely talks about teachers showing up. No one succeeds. They was paid just to show up and leave. If nobody tries, everybody fails, unfortunately.